Welcome to Beer and Breakfast, your matchday morning build-up show. I'm Johnny, this is
Jono.
And we're at Farm Road, yet again, where the pints are lovely and the company's lovelier.
Second now.
Coming up on today's show, we've got our Preston recap, team news, fan previews, and much more. And remember, if you've not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing with your life? Because you're all watching. 68% of them there, they're all watching but not subscribed.
Just, I don't know, you're living with yourselves.
Terrible. El terrible. Anyway, remember to sub to the channel. Remember to give this video a like if you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you know, just do one. Could watch something else.
Just like it anyway.
Just like it anyway. Yeah, just like it anyway. It helps us out. It really helps the channel grow. And we'll be able to afford more beer on away days. So there you go. Best kick into it. Preston recap, Jono.
Well, coming off the 6-2 victory, I think we all had high hopes for this one, didn't they?
Just a bit.
Yeah, a bit of a letdown in the end, but I wouldn't say it's a bad performance. There were a lot of what-ifs in that last 10 minutes. Shoreham probably should have run onto a goal. It was straight through, Sharp getting stupid foul away. It's just that errors. And I think a draw in the end, I suppose it were fair enough.
It were, but it felt like a loss at end, didn't it? We've become that team that gives away last-minute goals, and I don't like it.
We had a very good defence, can't score, and now we started scoring defences.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just put them both together if that ever happens. We'll
Bibbidi-bobbidi-boo.
Yeah.
No, it's one of them frustrating games where a draw probably were a fair result, but after you take the lead so late on, it's always a dagger to fucking heart.
It was. We said last minute goal always sends us into turmoil, and then they do exactly the same to us. And fair play to Preston fans for travelling at that price. Sort your prices out, United. Yeah, we're not going to go into too much of a tirade on that, but yeah, Mr. Man of the People, lower your fucking ticket prices, please. Mm-hmm. Good to see Conor Uran score again, weren't it, John? 6 now for 6.
Yeah. Okay, if you've been watching the vlogs and you're a bit confused, somebody, when Undayi scored his first the other day, me in a bit of a drunken stupor heard somebody say that Conor Uran had scored. Me forgetting that he weren't even playing, went, Jono, Uran scored! Made myself look a right dick, but because I edit the vlogs, I made Jono look a dick for making me look a dick.
I knew Shoreham weren't playing. I was taking the piss.
Now we've cleared that up, eh?
Thank you.
That's our reaction to the Preston game. We're going to keep it brief. We want to move on to the next one. Kind of not dwell on it too much. Saying that, here's a Blades fans' reviews to the Preston game.
Well, it were a sickener that, weren't it? Second game this season where a late goal at home is proper put a downer on things. I know Huddersfield would have only got a point anyway and that snatched that away, but weirdly this feels a bit worse, and I think it's because we've put in a decent performance again. Maybe not as good as Saturday, but still there were signs of that performance against Peterborough. A lot of decent football being played, creating chances, which we didn't really do in that Huddersfield game. And yeah, maybe it might have been a fair result on reflection of things, but it never feels fair when it's the 95th minute and you're conceding a goal of that nature as well, and I'll get onto that. But yeah, there are positives to take from it, and I hate being a bit Adkins about it by saying that, but they were good to see Sander get on the score sheet coming off the bench after his little time off with COVID. Yeah, great to see him scoring. Hopefully he can play a big role for us this season with an ever-improving midfield, because Norwood and Fleck were better again tonight as well. So I'm happy to see them picking up performances again. Gibbs White getting another goal. How we've managed to get him on loan, I don't know. Because if Wolves are struggling to score goals, he seems like someone who can really make that happen. So yeah, it's there's positives to take, but it's just you can't get over that sickening feeling, especially on the same night as the result. that comes in. So we just have to sort of move on, I guess, onto Hull on Saturday. But that equaliser. Look, at the end of last season, I thought Jack Robinson had a decent spell towards the end of the season, and I'm just not in a back four. He can't play in a back four. Not a centre back partnership. I know Slav likes left footers or the right footed player on that side, the correctly footed player on that side. But if Davis isn't available, Bash has to play. He's been one of the most consistent players in a United shirt for the past 6-7 years now. If you've got him in your squad and the only other option is Jack Robinson, you've got to play Chris Basham. But like I said, not the result we wanted, but another step in the right direction performance-wise, and hopefully we can get the result we want on Saturday. Go on, Blades.
I really fucking annoyed with that 2-2 draw last night. It's absolutely criminal to be conceding late on again, like we did in the Huddersfield match. Just when we think that we've shown the character and the mentality to sort of snatch something for ourselves, we then go and lose it up the other end. We should have been expecting that. For 90 minutes they were dominating us in the air. They've got 6-foot odd shithouses all over the pitch. You can literally run down their team and hardly know any of them. Don't hardly know any of the coaching staff, but they've come and they've done a proper job on us there. And that is a blueprint EFL performance, what they've done. We'll see that week in, week out. Teams will come to Bramall Lane, they'll set up, they'll make it scrappy, they'll stop us playing, they'll be dictating the game themselves. And we need to be better than that. Surely we've got to find a way to combat that, because it's just not good enough the way that we're doing it at the minute. And we're so weak mentally and physically in the air. We're getting dominated all over the pitch in the air. I mean, as long as Robinson's getting put in, we're going to get dominated at the back, on the floor, in the air, all over the place. Surely that has to go on Slav for keeping putting him in. How is he seeing something that we're not seeing? Because he's costing us time and time again now. And it was obvious before this season he wasn't good enough, but he keeps getting put in. I don't know. I don't think Olsen looked too bad. I think it wasn't a commanding debut for him, but also, he pulled off an alright save. Well, a pretty good save, to be fair, in the second half. Yeah, I mean, there was flashes. There was really good flashes in periods. We played some really good stuff, spurned some really good chances. Yeah, and the goals that we scored were alright goals, but yeah, just not good enough really. Hopefully Ndai's not injured for very long. Hopefully it was just a little knock that he'll be back in for the weekend. But I think him and Gibbs White were kind of looking for each other a bit too much, working a bit too hard. At times, trying to make the little flicks come off, and sometimes you can't always be cute, certainly against teams like Preston. But yeah, I mean, we could talk till we're blue in the face about being weak mentally, but if he's not going to change it at the back, it's not going to change much. I don't think Davies coming in makes us much stronger at the back as physically. So yeah, we've got to sort it out. Otherwise, we're going to be seeing a lot more results like this. And Preston are the type of side we need to be putting to bed. We need to be taking 3 points and moving up the league a bit. But sadly, that hasn't happened. Yeah.
To be honest, I thought the first half performance was very much like the Peterborough game, getting a foothold in the game by a brilliant finish by Morgan Gibbs-White and a brilliant performance to boot. We took the lead, but yet again, defensive frailties and mistakes are the order of the day to give the opposition, who didn't deserve a foothold in the game, a real leg up and an opportunity to get a result. On this occasion, it's a bit of a miscommunication by Olsen and Reece Norrington-Davis. Reece Norrington-Davis really blindsided by a beautiful ball over the top, and then Olsen in no man's land, and Johnson rounds the keeper and slots the ball comfortably into the net. So you're starting again from square one. Again, we tried our best to get up in a game, just to throw it away so simply. It's beyond frustrating at this point. A team who clearly want a point, have come for a point, and are happy to sit on the laurels after that, so it's always going to be a difficult game. Alas, our problems this season won't be scoring goals. I think the additions of Ndai and Morgan Gibbs-White have somewhat guaranteed that we will create chances, and with Billy Sharp up front, we will take them, or take the majority. Our problems this season, for me, inevitably and obviously, are at the back.
The day after the night before, we should have thought, it sounds like I'm doing an acting job here, like a white screen, just put some fucking shit on there. To putting this in the wash for Saturday, because we'll need that, because obviously if I didn't have that on, fuck knows how many goals we'd be conceding. I actually think we're looking a lot better than we were, to be honest, just before the international break and stuff, so it's really frustrating because teams aren't having to work hard for the goals, it's just long punts into the box. We can't deal with it. It really is like a decent League One side to be able to defend the goals that we're letting in, and that's what's so frustrating. Going forward, we will look like we can create chances, which is something that we've not done for ages, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's obviously a work in progress, and there's definitely better signs and stuff, but we need to stop defending like absolute dickheads, and it really is as simple as that, to be fair, because the goals that we're giving away are so shit. It's just, I know every team who concedes a goal says like, oh yeah, we should have, we could have done this, we could have done that, but they are the shittest goals you will see that we're conceding this season. I don't know how we sort it out. We need to sort that out because it's embarrassing as in a defensive unit, especially when we're showing so much going forward and creating so many chances. We shouldn't need 3 goals to win every game. We can't score 6 goals every week. Just sort that out at the back, and I think we're on the cusp of something pretty decent, to be fair. And lots of positives though. The forward line again, Gibbs-White and Dye weren't at the very best as they were on Saturday, but they still put in performances that no one else that we've got in the roster, as the Prince would say, could produce just by getting the ball running forward. I thought Norwood and Fleck were really good again. They seem to have got a new lease of life with the new signings and stuff, and sure Olsen will get better as well. So, there are all positive signs there. Just sort the defence out. I don't want to go in on like Jack Robinson realistically. I think he's just not good enough to play at this level, and I think he probably even knows that himself, to be honest. So I don't like it when everyone just goes in, but it's pretty obvious that we need to get him out of the team. If Ben Davies isn't fit, just lob Basham in there. He can't do anywhere. So, but yeah, we need to just start defending properly, and on to Saturday.
So after the weekend result, let's have a look how that affects the Championship League table. Fulham are still top, obviously. West Brom. Your favourites to go down. Bournemouth are in third, Jono.
I never said that. Yeah, they're surprising me. Twats.
Coventry in fourth.
Where have they got up there?
Hey, they're doing well. They're finally playing well at the Rioc, whatever they want to call it nowadays. Let's have a look at your playoff places. Obviously, you've got Bournemouth, Coventry, Stoke, Huddersfield in 6.
I think Huddersfield, Stoke, Coventry.
Yeah.
Very surprising.
Very, very surprising. Bottom half of the table. Oh, we found data for Sheffield United now. Oh, we're not missing anymore.
It's not looking as grim.
Not looking as grim, but we're still at bottom half at table. Still in 19th.
Only way is up.
Forest, they are in dire straits.
Chris Wilder's soon to be Forest.
I'm still not mentally ready for that yet. Hull, our next opponent's in 21st. Theoretically, it's a close relegation battle, but
6-pointer.
6-pointer for safety. It's looking a bit better, isn't it? But still not where we want it to be.
No, a lot of positives lately from past couple of games. So yeah, if you can carry on playing like that, I never thought I'd say we'd missed Osborne at Preston match.
Yeah. Mr. I don't think he should be starting. Missing badly in that game.
Sharp's still not scored though, has he?
No, but after getting 3 assists at weekend.
Yeah, fair play for that one.
He's just one of them players that you wanted. That system suited him to T, didn't it?
It did. And I think with Osborne in,
yeah.
Although Sanderberg did play really well when he came on.
He was great when he came on. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I like him there. Do you know 2 things that let that team down? One's a Scouser called Jack Robinson. I don't understand what he benefits to us. Why was Basham on bench?
I don't know actually. I can't remember.
I can't either. So if Basham weren't on the bench, this point's a complete moot point. But anyway, why can he trust Robinson over Basham? I don't understand that.
I think Slab just panics when Basham's got hold of the ball because he just wants to run forward. And he's like, no, I'll stick with Robinson, he'll stay back.
Yeah, but what's the point in him staying back when he can't defend?
I don't know. I can't defend him.
Robinson looks better going forward.
I panic every time he gets hold of the ball.
Yeah.
I really do.
So let's have a look. At that game, we mentioned a few players that played well. Who were your man of the match for you, Preston?
I'm saying Fleck.
Fleck? Oh.
I mean, I know he should have scored that goal. He tried to be a bit clever with it, but past 2 games I thought Fleck, that is the old Fleck.
Yeah, John Fleck.
Jimmy's left the building.
Jimmy has left the building. Villain of the piece. So if that were your man of the match, who were your dickhead of the match? Robinson. Moving on. So coming up next, obviously, we've got Hull. Let's have a look what Big Slavs had to say ahead of the game.
Ben Osborne started working with us, and he will be available for next game. Ben Davies only made 2 sessions in international break, and after 2 sessions, I mean after the international break, and after 2 sessions, we expect he can be soon. And Steven start working today with us. This is my first training working with Enda, and I arrive in Sheffield United. We don't have injury problems. We have some different, but this injury is all the people is fit. Bogle is wake up with diarrhea with some kind of the problem. He didn't participate today the training. He can be ready for tomorrow. We will see. Okay, it's all the criticism is now over the Jack. Is probably he can make it better job last few games. At the end, we expect he can be in still better level. He's good professional. We need to coordinate a little bit more defensive line. We made some kind of the mistake. For another side, it's we must survive this last minutes in the game. This is second time what happened, and we are considered goal in injury time. We lost points, and this kind of the situation we find it all 3 days. It's nothing especially so strange, nothing what we are not living before, but this is moment where you need to be extra focused and concentrate, and don't drop all the work for what the team is working in the some game 90 few minutes. Anyway, if you ask me about Robo, I believe we need to be still more organized in the defensive line. We are, for be honest, we didn't be in a lot of the trouble front of in our box, but this numbers is clear. We are considered so much. Is 5 after set pieces, 2 after corners. Listen, I am more frustrated after this goal than after Huddersfield scoring last minute for 1 point. But for another point was after the game. Next game I need to start working, and in general line is I have sensation like players start to understand well and start to play football in a little bit different way. From another side, I want to interpret it like they are enjoying in this way. They show the lot of the quality, especially last 2 games. Then where we compare with our first game. Of course, this game is at the end you play the game for win the game, and we don't expect will happen this kind of the situation like happen against Preston, but is part of the past. It's hard kick for us, but we ahead of us immediately have a new chance for try improve our result, still our performance, our organization. At the end is be satisfied, don't be satisfied is not part of my work. Is part of my work is fighting for the target, and I will probably tell you at the end of the season, in beginning of the May, end of the April, if I am satisfied or not. Normally during the season I am more insatisfied than satisfied.
So we've listened to what Slav has to say there. Ender's back in training. Is that a good thing or a bad thing in your book?
It's a good thing, but I wouldn't bring him straight back in because I do think Norrington Davies, barring Tuesday, because I thought he had a bad game then, probably his worst game so far for
I
us.
think it was a bad game. It was just a shaky game. He played well in patches, but he also played bad in patches. He weren't consistently bad, I don't think.
Yeah, I'll give you that, but I mean, some of his crossing were poor, which we've been seeing him do some decent crosses, and he just couldn't beat a man. He tried to beat, I can't remember who kept trying to beat, but 3 or 4 times he's tried to run past him, and he's quicker than him, and he's just running to nowhere.
He played very Baldock.
Yeah.
Like having 2 Baldocks on pitch, weren't it?
Yeah.
And that's not a dig up. I love Baldock, but he's not as good going forward. If you could morph Kieran Freeman and George Baldock, you'd have a right back.
He won't be playing for us.
No. the white Cafu.
Yeah.
That's what it would be.
What a song that was.
Oh, I love that. Other team news, Ben Osborne's available for the game. Ben Davies with a calf problem.
Gutted.
Please no, Robinson. Please
Bring
no.
back Bash.
Bring back Bash. Illiman and Dedananai. And they're going to have a look at him. He was quiet the other day, still looked nice on ball, but looked a bit knackered really, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's not really playing 90 minutes at any point at the moment, is he?
No, I don't see it.
Cramping first game, and then he went off again. And he gained, I think, 60 minutes for him at the moment, and then you've got to bring him off.
But this is his first time actually mentioning since obviously the Peterborough game, because we didn't really get to do a review for that one, did we? Because we didn't do a beer and breakfast for Preston, midweek games, no nos.
No.
What a player, by the way.
Him and Gibbs were just breath of fresh air, just totally just changed. The style of play, the way we play was brilliant.
They could be a scary combo. A very scary combo.
Gibbs White's on here till January.
Please be extended.
It's not long away, that, you know.
No, I know it's not. So if we look at Hull's previous form, we'll look at the last few games. We'll focus on the last 5, as we tend to do on this channel, and roll the graphic. Last game, lost 2-0 to Blackburn, my dark horses for promotion.
They're playing well and all, but they can't buy a goal, can they? Hull, looking at that.
0-0 with Swansea. We know all about that. Bournemouth, your favourites, 0-0 with them. So
exactly, Bournemouth are shit.
They're not considered. It's one of them games. They have a keep a clean sheet or they'd lose.
It's kind of like United then.
Yeah.
So a nice 0-0 draw then on Saturday.
No, don't. It's coming in it. You've said a 0-0 there. If we're good at Hull, we play where we played against Peterborough. Surely we can score 5 or 6.
What? You're that confident?
If we play like we did against Peterborough, yeah.
I think Hull's a better team than Peterborough.
They are, but they also like to play football. Preston didn't like to play football, did they? They had 2 players that played football. The rest of the time they were just rough and tumble.
They were very direct as well.
Yeah.
We didn't cope with that long ball at times. Yeah, well, it'd suit us better if Hull would try and play football.
Exactly. If they try and match us up for football, we could recover big time from midweek game.
It'd be nice. We're 3 unbeaten now, so
exactly.
Roll it on.
A lot of talk about how this new system's working and it's good, but after a Preston game, does it show yet again we need 5 at the back and all this kind of nonsense? So before we even talk about systems and lineups, you know what that leads us quite nicely into, Jono?
This or that.
Welcome to your Saturday morning cheesy game show that Jono absolutely adores. It's his highlight of the week. It's what you were all waiting for. You skipped all the rest of the video just to get to this point. We know what you're after, and this week's this and that. Do we prefer the 4 at the back or the 5 at the back?
Controversial, this one.
Jono, as always, home dealer goes first. Jono, enlighten us. Do you prefer a 5 at the back or a 4 at the back?
Don't I get a drum roll? 4.
Ooh!
I knew you were going to do that.
Ooh! So you prefer the new system with the 4?
Yes, I think it's Slav's kind of football, and I think we've got to get past the 5 at the back now.
Adapt or die.
Exactly, and well, another reason is because if you get one injury, it means you've got to bring Robinson in.
Yep.
So back 4 just gives us a bit more leeway not to play Robinson at the moment.
Playing devil's advocate, does that leave us susceptible to long ball without a stopper between the back if you have three centre-backs, you have a stopper there to kind of sweep up any long balls. And with the four, as we've seen against Preston, when you've got two there not only marking, but with a long ball forward, if they lack a bit of pace, does that not leave us a bit open?
No, if you have a more defensive kind of midfield as well,
Yeah.
then they could always help out. So, no, I don't think that should be a problem.
I like it.
Johnny, tell us yours.
4. It's fine.
I thought you might have broke that.
I've got to find new and exciting, dramatic ways to fool the audience. No, I agree with you fully. The 4 is the way forward. I think with the right defenders in there, it leaves us so much more space to attack. It's not as rigid. And I genuinely think it's the way forward, and we can't keep sinking back to the 5 when we hit panic stations now. Because the number 4 is the way forward. We agree.
Tomorrow, Sheffield United tweets Jack O'Connell's back in full training.
4.
You still win for 4?
I'm going with a back pairing of Egan and Jack O'Connell.
Not that he is going to be back.
No.
I don't know anything.
Don't get your fucking hopes up. But more chance in boxing.
If he was coming back, I'd have a back 5.
Would you really?
I would, yeah.
So you'd switch it back to a back 5 as soon as O'Connell comes
would,
back?
yeah.
You won't play Egan and O'Connell?
No.
Interesting. So what would we do after the 5 there? So we've got a 5 at the back when O'Connell comes back. What do you do with the rest of the players? Do they stay with it? Because obviously you can't have the 2-2-2.
No, he's just back to a 5-3-2 or something. I just really like that back 3.
You're living in the past, John. We need to move forward. Adapt or die.
When it's working so well, why would you have changed it? I mean, I know it's a new manager, but
It's one of them things, isn't it? Which got to. Oh, it'd be a nice headache to have, but you throw a right spanner, it works now. But I'm still saying the 4. I'd still play Egan and O'Connell at the back. Anyway, that was this or that. So that was this or that. Next up, we've got our dedicated Hull experts from To Hull and Back. Great podcast, actually, quite funny. One of them ones where if you like football, don't matter if you don't like their team or not, if you like football, it's worth a listen. Anyway, enough digressing, to the Hull fan.
Hi pal, thanks for having me on the Shoreham View. It's Joel here from the Hull and Back podcast. It's great to be able to talk about Hull City on your podcast. So in terms of our start of the season, I think results-wise we haven't had the best starts. We won our first game 4-1 at Deepdale. We looked brilliant that game. We scored 4 goals. Preston didn't really offer any threat to us. But since that game, we haven't scored any other goals. So we've only scored 4 in our first 7. 6 of those games, we've not actually scored a goal in. So we do need to try and find that cutting edge up front. Hopefully, new boy Tyler Smith, who we signed from yourselves, will be able to help us get the goals really, because we are struggling at the moment. But so in terms of how we've played, we've only really had one bad game this season, and that was when we played Derby at home and lost 1-0. We didn't really offer much that game. I think in terms of the rest of the season so far, we've looked threatening, we've defended well, but we just can't seem to find the goals which you need to win the games. In terms of what to expect from us at the game, I'd expect us to sit back and try and hit you on the counter-attack like we did against Swansea, like we did against Blackburn, to make sure that we can at least have a chance, because if we let you attack us, you'll beat us with ease. In terms of some players that would be nice for you to look at, George Moncur and Matt Smith, 2 players in our midfield who will probably be pivotal to us being able to attack and possibly score. And George Honeyman as well, our most creative player from last season, he's expected to be back for the upcoming match, so that might give our players a little bit of a boost, having the guy who got them all the assists last season really. In terms of the club, your club, I think Sheffield United are a good club. They've got a fantastic fan base, sold out the allocation at our stadium, even when it's on Sky, so you can't really fault them. They've been there through it all, through League One, Championship, Premier League. They've been loud and proud in every single game throughout that time, so I'm an admirer of that really, because we are struggling with our owners and our attendances at the moment, so hopefully we'll be able to get back to having a decent fan base soon. In terms of the confidence ahead of the game, I'm not too confident that we'll be able to win the game. It all depends on how we start, whether it's one of those where we're not sure whether we're going to turn up and actually attack, or if we're going to just sit back and let you go at us. So not particularly confident. So for that reason, I'm going to say a 2 or 3-0 win for Sheffield United.
So that's what they've had to say. Obviously, they're quite confident that they can pick up this season. They've had some good results, they've had some bad ones. It's a mixed bag for them. I've said what I think. This game, what you expected? Because you said 0-0. If we turn up and we're United, what do you expect from this game?
I think it's our match to lose.
Yeah.
We should be winning it. Whether we do or not is obviously how we turn up on the day. Looking at their form, they can't score. I know they're not conceding many, but if we get a goal early on, I think we should go on to a nice, comfortable win.
Yeah.
But I think that first 20 minutes should be key.
Looking, obviously, at the players we've got available, we've had the team news. What's your prediction? What's your preferred starting lineup?
Very much, probably the same as it were against Peterborough, except obviously Jack Robinson for Basham.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we missed Osborne, but if I had Berg starting instead, I wouldn't be too bothered. So.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But yeah, no wooden fleck at the moment. Past 2 games, I do think I'd keep them inside at the moment.
It's what they needed, isn't it? They needed a bit of refreshment.
Like I said, they need somebody challenging for them places. And
not just challenging, but they needed something new to do. And I think this new system, because it's not a 4-3-3, it's not a 5-3-2, it's something brand new.
It gives Norwood more options to ping it.
Yeah, 100%. That's what he's been missing.
It is. So yeah, I'm confident at the moment, and just with these new 2 players, it's
yeah. I just have this good feeling, and when I have a good feeling, it never works, and that's what scares the shit out of me.
Stop having a good feeling.
Shall I just go back to being Mr. Negative?
No. It's might be the only time that we can be a bit positive.
We're going to lose 2-0. You'd think after that result of the day we'd be more negative, but we've seen what we can do.
I was positive before Peterborough game.
You were very positive before the Peterborough game. It was me that was a bit pessimistic. So you be positive and I'll be pessimistic.
No problem.
We're going to lose 2-0.
Good cop, bad cop.
Good cop, bad cop. Good cock, bad cock. Anyway, on to the fan preview.
Back at it again on Saturday then, looking to make it 7 points from a possible 9 in 7 days away at newly promoted Hull. So it could be a really interesting game, this newly promoted side against the newly relegated side, just much like the Peterborough game, but I don't think this would be as much of a cakewalk as the second half of that Peterborough game anyway. Hull are an odd side. I don't really know how to figure them out. They started with that amazing win at Preston on the first day and have sort of levelled out in between then a mix of results. A 2-0 defeat at Blackburn in their most recent game in midweek, with not really too much to show for themselves in that game either. So I think it's absolutely a winnable game, and vast majority of games in this division for a side as strong as us, on paper at least, should be very winnable games. But away from home, never easy. Obviously, we haven't won away from home in the season this season so far. But I think we will on Saturday. Like against Preston, obviously a sickener at the end there, but signs of us getting better are there. A better performance again, not as good as the Peterborough game, but a good performance. And if we can continue those performance levels, I think we'll have a bit too much of Hull. In terms of who I'd play, if Davis is available, he plays, because Slav loves the left footer and the left centre back. But if he's still not available, Bash plays. It has to be. I said it in my previous video, but Bash plays ahead of Robinson now, because I don't want to pile in and say all this stuff about him. And I know most of it's tongue in cheek and in jest, but I don't want to pile on with like, oh, he shouldn't be. He needs to do this. He needs to go here. He needs to and a lot of the horrible stuff that gets said. But he's not good enough. I think that's a perfectly fair way of putting it, that he's not good enough to start in a side that has the ambitions that we do. So yeah, if Davies isn't available, Bash plays. Despite Norwood's improvements in the last couple of performances, I'd like to see Berger in from the off in his role. But we'll see what Slav does. I'll trust it until maybe the end of the 90 minutes and we've not got a result that we want. But I'm quietly confident for this one, and hopefully we can come away from Hull with 3 points in the early kick-off on Saturday. Go on, Blades.
Away at Hull then, looking forward to getting away with Blades again. It'll be my first away game since going down to Palace. So yeah, looking forward to getting on the road with Blades. Big allocation, so there'll be plenty of us going over there. Hopefully make for a good atmosphere. I imagine they're not filling out the home end very well at the minute, but yeah, at least we'll try and make some noise. Won't be the same jubilant atmosphere as last time we were there, but you know, we're just starting the season, so it's onwards and upwards, as they say. We'll hopefully have a good performance. I've just been looking at Hull's results this season. They've not really pulled up many trees. Not had very few acceptable results, really. It's been quite a lot of losses or grinding out draws and stuff like that. So I don't think they're anything to be feared. Looking through their lineups, they don't look anywhere near the strengths of the side that Hull have had over the last decade or so. So, you know, I think they are a typical League One team that have come up into the Championship again. So hopefully we can put them to the sword and get back to some free-flowing football. Hopefully, with them being at home, they'll come on at us, and that'll, you know, that should do us some good. Might mean that we can dictate the game and take it to them a bit, get him round the back, stuff like that. But yeah, team selection for us. If I see Jack Robinson in the side, I'll be driving off the Humber Bridge, without a doubt. I can't see it. I can't watch him play again. I won't have it. Put anyone in there. Put that young lad in. That young Polish lad. You know, he fair enough. It was against League Two opposition, but he won a lot against Carlisle in the air. Give it a go. Either that or slide Egan across and play Basham in there. I don't know why that's not an option. I'm hoping Ben Osborne's going to be back because he was good giving us width at the weekend. I think Endai was just cramp, I've heard, during today. I thought he'd taken knock, but it sounds like it was just cramp, so you'd like to think he'd be back in the mix at least. Be nice if he could start playing hour again, get him and Morgan Gibbs-White playing together. And yeah, if Billy's not up to playing 90 again, I'd like to see Ollie Mack come in there. I think he'd be all right at making the ball stick up the top of the pitch, because I don't think that happened too well against Preston. So yeah, I mean, really, whatever happens. I'm just looking forward to having an away day with Blades, to be honest. So yeah, see you all on Saturday. Up the Blades.
Hi mate, hope we're all good. Quick preview for this Saturday's game against Hull. Really looking forward to it, despite the sickness they were night against Preston, 95th minute equaliser. But despite all that, really looking forward to this Saturday's game. I'm going to it, so you know, it's a sellout, which is fantastic effort from the Blades fans. Was it 4,500, nearly 5,000 fans? So it'll be a great atmosphere, I'm sure. I hope we can deliver on the pitch. Team selection wise, you know, you're looking at what would you do. You'd hope Ben Davies is fit. If he's not fit, don't start Jack Robinson. You know, I think there's other options in there. You've got Basham. I personally wouldn't play Basham because I don't think he can play Slav style. Doesn't look comfortable on the ball and certainly not in a four. So I think you go to young Lopata. You know, he's played well in the cup every time he's played, and very good defensively. You know, he's tall, he wins every head and looks comfortable on the ball. But obviously, I do hope Ben Davies is fit and he can go in there. But if he's not, Lopata will be my choice to replace him. You know, other changes. If Ben Osborne recovers from his illness, I hope he comes back into the side. Nothing particular against Luke Freeman, because I thought he did okay the other night. Obviously, set the goal up. But I think Ben Osborne was outstanding at the weekend, so he comes back into the team. Another big one for me, Sanderberg. What happens there? Does he play? I thought he was outstanding when he came on the other night, so I think there's a decision got to be made there. Personally, I'd play him in the Ndai role, drop Ndai out, not because of his performance. I'm not saying he's performed badly or anything, because he's not. He's been good, but maybe bring Ndai on at the 60th minute and have him as the impact player for this game. But really looking forward to it. Like I say, I think it's a game against Hull that the Hull side have started off really poorly. You know, they've struggled quite a bit, to be fair to them. I think they've got a big striker in Big Tom Eves and Josh McGuinness. So, you know, centre half are going to be on it. I'm sure balls are going to be flying into the box as well. So it's going to be a difficult game, but I'm expecting a win. I'm going to go for 2-0 Sheffield United win. I am going to go for Sanderberg again and Morgan Gibbs-White to carry on in his fantastic form.
Obviously, fan previews there. Again, a mixed bag.
Yeah, I thought they'd be a bit more positive and optimistic.
Yeah.
Now that I think we've turned a corner anyway, so
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh no.
Predicted scoreline.
I know I said 0-0 earlier, but
That were Jokey Jono.
it was Jokey Jono. Jokey Jono.
Jokey Jono.
I like that one.
New nickname for you. You have to start learning some jokes.
I'm going for a 2-1 win.
I like it. Confident.
Own goal from Robinson.
I can't argue with that. I cannot argue with that. If the team that played Peterborough turns up, we win 4-0. If the team that played Luton turns up, we lose 2-0.
Just sit on fence, Johnny.
There's two very distinct differences, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not what if, it's just what you think it's going to... Whoever turns up.
That's exactly it. We've seen the two different sides of United, two different sides of the coin. There's no middle ground. I don't see us drawing this game. We either turn up and play like we did at Peterborough with that 4-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2-2, and and Gibbs White causing chaos, or we turn up with Sharp as a target man and McBurney as a winger.
What if that team turns up against Preston?
Which one?
The team that turned up against Preston.
We win 4-0.
Oh.
And I think, because Hull they tried to play nice football at times. So I think if we'd have played that team that played against Preston on Tuesday night, we were playing Hull, I think we'd have won 4-0. I don't think
Mr. Positivity.
I don't think that the team was the problem. I think it was the opponent. We haven't quite worked out how to adapt this system to a rough and tumble opponent yet. This is very much a top-of-the-table clash formation and system that works amazingly well against teams that try and play football against you.
So we're going to hammer Fulham then, aren't we?
Oh, mate, this team pisses on Fulham. Honestly, this team pisses on West Brom. If we'd have played this against West Brom, we'd have won 4-0. Oh, yeah. Robin Olsen.
Yeah.
You've got a song for him, haven't you?
Not on camera, yeah.
I'll get him at all when he's pissed up. We'll put it to a vote. Roof, sorry, we didn't want to get your credits in here, but he won't sing it on camera.
I can't, because I've seen people try and make songs up and abuse they get for it.
What we're going to do is we'll make up because it's a jokey song. We don't expect it to take off.
But I'd like it to take off.
We need to start getting Danny Herod in. We'll put him on stage and get him to sing. We'll get a fan each week to send in a song suggestion for a player, and we'll get Danny Herod to sing the song on stage.
And send it in Elvis form.
That's amazing. That is exactly what I want. It'd be like shooting stars and Danny can be fucking George Dawes.
Smoke machine.
Yes.
Tonight, Matthew.
If you want this feature, if you want our resident pub singer Danny Herod to come and sing your songs, your suggested football chants on stage.
Have you asked him yet?
No, I'm asking him right now. I'm looking at the camera. Danny, you're up for it, but are the fans up for it? I'll put a vote on. Okay, so here's your quiz question, Jono. It should be an easy one, this. If you don't get it, I'll be very disappointed.
No pressure then.
It's all between United and Hull.
Right.
So Sheffield United and Hull have actually swapped a lot of players. We've had players come from them to us, and we've sent players from us to them. After Stephen Quinn, who was the next player to be sold from Sheffield United to Hull City?
First one that comes to my mind would be Harry Maguire.
Our survey says... Ding, 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 ding.
What do I win? No.
Winner! Now, here's your question. Answer it on Twitter, Instagram, wherever the fuck you want, really. Answer it wherever you want. But here is your trivia question. Again to do with Sheffield United and Hull. What player was sold to Hull for 50,000 Great British pounds and came back to score against United before eventually returning to the Blades? Don't answer it.
I'm not going to. I'm just saying I think I got the easy one.
It's for them. He's meant to be doing the quiz and he didn't even know half for his own quiz.
Oh, no, but... Yeah, join us for quiz night tomorrow night, Friday night.
See? I set you up and he finally gets where I'm on a quiz night at Farm Road on a Sunday.
Yeah, because this is live on a Saturday morning.
We're getting there. We're getting there. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel. Oh, God. Anyway. We always lose a plot at this part of the video, don't we? Start losing plot.
Yeah, best part, isn't it?
Anyway, coming up in Blades Media. As always, Roy, aka Panchero, aka Andrew, aka Mr. A Million Names, will have your pre-match view from the Hull fans. He'll also be coming after the game with the reactions from the Hull fans. Hopefully they've got something more to say other than Tigers, Tigers, rah, rah, rah. Can't get to the game? Watching it live on Sky? Can't stand their bloody awful commentary? Fear not. Nick and Al over on the Sheffield United Way have got you covered. And starting at 12 PM, they'll be starting their live watch-along. Always a good view. Always better commentary than what you get on the telly. Get a view, well worth it. Of course, let's not forget that we are spoilt for choice with Sheffield United podcasts out there. We've got Blades Pod, Tufty Club, and 4 Blades in the Pub. All 3 amazing Sheffield United podcasts. Well worth a listen. I'd recommend them to anybody and everybody. Get on there, give them a listen, you won't regret it. Violent initiations, comedy stories from behind the scenes. It's our Alan Kelly podcast and it's available now on the Shoreham View. And of course, we will be filming at the match, which means the Hull City away vlog should be coming after the game. Say it with me, everybody. Sunday if I'm hungover. Final thoughts this week, Jono. Final thoughts going into the whole game.
Can't wait for it. 4,000 Blades travelling, 3,700 on the same train. What a day it's going to be. Can't wait for it.
When was the last time we got 4,000 tickets for an away game? But it seems like League One.
You got to put COVID in here, that's why it's probably feels so long away. But
even when we were in Championship before, though, Pigs only gave us 2,500, Leeds didn't give as many. They didn't
your Prestons and Barnsleys that we've always had.
Yeah.
So fair play, Hull. Thanks for sending us more tickets.
Yes,
it's
very well done.
Good day, that. Can't wait for it.
I don't like lifeless bowl stadiums. As far as lifeless bowls go, Pride Park and fucking MGM Grand or whatever they want to fucking call it this week, Hull's Ground, they actually keep an atmosphere, which is something quite rare for a bowl.
You're getting mauled by the Tigers.
I bet they hold the noise from us, not that they're getting mauled by the Tigers.
I'll cry if I hear that.
Raw. Tigers, Tigers, rah, rah, rah.
Jesus, that is the worst. I think they just sing it just to piss people off though now, don't they?
It's the exact same reason why I put deliberate spelling mistakes in things and why I wear them 3/4 jean shorts when I go abroad, because I know it pisses people off. Oh dear. Anyway, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Jono, always a pleasure to have you on the video, mate. Join us on Saturday. Go there again. See you all at the ground. Let's hope for 3 points. Up the Blades.